Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com, and you are looking at a very interesting watch today. Yes, it has a front-facing camera. Yes, it takes a SIM card to make and receive phone calls. Yes, it does Bluetooth calling as well. And it's under $10. What is it? Glad you asked. From GearBest, this is the Lemur V8 Bluetooth smartwatch band touchscreen. It sports activities. It's even got a security lock on it. Oh, did I mention in addition to the SIM card, you could put in a micro SD or TF card full of music? Yeah, loudspeaker. What more can you want for $8.65? Let's unbox this puppy. Well, for about $9, you don't get a whole lot. You get a white box, and inside you get a watch. But you do get a nice little bag. They put it in a bag, so you have some fun opening it up. Where is it? Here we go. And you also, there it is. You also get inside of here a charging wire. Now, we haven't seen this for years, and honestly, if it wasn't a waterproofing issue, I think honestly it's the best way to go. It's a standard micro USB that plugs into the side of the watch. It's got a little rubber cover, and I never can get right which one it is. There it is. It's on the side of the microphone, remember that. And you plug it in here, and you plug it in, and you charge it. Of course, you could use any length wire and plug it into your computer or your phone charger or whatever. But you get the wire, you get the watch, and you get the little manual. Now, the manual's in Chinese, and on this side, it's English. And folks, you're going to have to read this one. You're really going to need to get into it because it's got the information for tethering. I really haven't delved deep enough into the tethering to get it to work. I can't find what the actual app is. It looks like it's a Fundu product, but the QR code and the connections have been challenging for me, so I am not going to go into the tethering aspect of this thing. That's something for $9 that you can buy and do it on your own. There's the Chinese side. So that's the unboxing. Now let's go a little deeper into the watch. A quick look at the specs. First of all, they're claiming IP67. You're about to see it's nowhere near that. Don't get it wet. Just plain don't get it wet. It's not going to work. It's also only 2G. It says right here in the specs. So internet, you know, the browser, the Facebook, those kind of things are going to be pretty lame. If you need them in an emergency, it might work. But the best you're going to do is get 2G if your network is compatible when you put the SIM card in there. The TF card or micro SD card can support up to 32 gigabytes of music and pictures and whatnot. And for iPhone users, this is one of those exceptions where there's no APK for it. So you can't use all this stuff, including Bluetooth music, but all the other functions would work, and all these functions should work with an Android phone. So it's a multifunction smartwatch, watch SIM, Bluetooth dialing, pedometer, calorie calculation, sedentary reminder, all those things are in it. A long-term 380 milliamp hour battery says it's going to give you standby time of 5 to 7 days with this little watch. Wide compatibility, it's using Bluetooth 3.0, so none of the fancy new stuff, but you do get a nice 30-foot or more connection range with it, so that should be good. It's got a HD IPS LCD 2.5D capacitive touch screen, 240 by 240 resolution. Not going to be the brightest light bulb outdoors, but it's going to work okay in the shade. You've got SIM card frequencies here, as it mentions, and then the overall specs and languages that are supported are here. Now, some of you are going to be really happy you saw this review, but most of you are going to be really upset I'm not covering everything that you want to know. And that's because there's just too much to do it in an $8 watch. But I'm going to leave you with some open questions and a call that if you really want to have something fun to play with, just add this onto your GearBest order for whatever watch or product you're going to be buying, because I think you're going to be really impressed with it. Let's walk through what it does on the watch, give you an idea. Right up front, you got phone calling and texting. Boom, with the time. And you notice there was an analog screen that pops up when you turn it off, and then you can turn it on, and that's kind of a background image or wallpaper. And then you can, wow, didn't even know that. Wow, you can change that. Cool. Okay. Anyway, after you get out of that, I don't know what I'm doing. Tap. There. Okay, swipe up. I get to kind of the main page that it starts with, which has phone calling and text messaging. When I tap on phone calling, you get the keypad, you can put in a number. This is a bogus number I just made up. Or you could go to your call logs and you place the call. And I don't know if you can see it there, but it says select call, local or BT. Now, that's the kind of software you find in those high-end watches that do both Bluetooth calling and SIM calling. You remember the old Android 4.4 and 5.1 watches? They had that kind of feature, and a lot of the earlier dual mode watches had that, and then some reason we drifted away from it. But this watch has it. If you have a SIM card in it, the local call will light up white and you'll be able to go in there. If you're tethered to your phone and you've tethered this as a calling device like you would a Bluetooth headset, don't even need the app for doing this, just tether it. For calling alone, you could buy this thing. Bluetooth call directly from it. It'll show up there. If you have both a SIM card, both of them will light up, and that's where you have a choice. And you'd pick one or the other, and then you'd touch it, and it'll start placing the call for you. So you've got that whole dialing capability in here. You've got contacts that you can add and, of course, touch to call, either local or Bluetooth. And when you're in tethering with your phone, the Bluetooth contact database from your phone will be transferred to your watch, and so you'll have all of your contacts available right there. You can do different options with it. You can have your phone book settings, on and on and on. It's just phenomenal what you're getting in this tiny little $8 watch. Okay, beyond these two things, in any direction you slide is going to take you into the next page. And here's where we were on the camera. I was just playing with this. It's got a little 0.3 megapixel camera. It's really, really tiny, but it can take pictures if you've got the memory card installed. No memory in it to speak of to begin with, but you can put in a TF card, and of course you can capture your pictures. You have some options available to you where you can change the settings, change the image settings, and you can just play with that all day long. And there's no video as far as I can tell on it, but you can definitely take pictures. All right, bailing out of that, coming back in, we've got your images. If you've taken them, would be here from your memory card, an audio player to play the music on your card if you've copied it over and put it in the watch. And you've got a remote camera capability when you're Bluetooth to your phone, so you can use this as a trigger button to take a picture. All the standard kind of stuff. You've got a calendar built into this. You've got a calculator built into it as well that you can run up your numbers. It's pretty tiny to see, but they're there. You've got a stopwatch, which is 1/10 of a second stopwatch that you can run. You know, it's a great starter watch for kids if you've got a child you'd like to play with and introduce to smartwatch technology. You've got alarms that you can set. You've got last night's sleep time, your step count, sedentary reminders, and an anti-loss test. What is this? Anti-loss, locking the phone. Yeah, you can set this to lock your phone. That's really cool. All right. You've got File Manager. When you tap into there and you've got your card in there, you can navigate, play your music, do whatever. You've got, this is cool, this power saving mode. Check this out. Now power saving is on and you see how everything got dim. So really sophisticated, advanced stuff that's in here that is on a really, really inexpensive app. If that isn't enough, you can set up and do WhatsApp in here. You've got, not even sure. Oh, wow, look at that. It's world time. When you get it all set up, you can go anywhere you want to on the planet and see what time it is there with the map on there. Kids love that stuff. I do too, even actually. Facebook, Twitter, and even it looks like Chrome as a downloadable browser that you can have on it. In addition to all that, then you get back to the calling capability. We looked at the dialer. You have the same thing for text messaging. You could check your inbox and your drafts and whatnot from either the local SIM card that you're using or the Bluetooth connection to your phone. If you go into options, you can change your input methods, and you have all kinds of ways of displaying a tiny keyboard on here in different languages. There's all caps, there's caps and smalls, and then you get into all these French and I don't know, German and Russian keyboards in here. Yes, of course, you can change the language of the watch as well. If you check your inbox, you see if you have any messages local, or tap over here, Bluetooth. If you're connected, you'll be able to see and answer, folks, in any language. It's going to be hard. It's a tiny little keyboard, but it is feasible. You can't do that in most watches at all, at any price, let alone for under $10. Okay, so you got messaging, phone books, dialing logs, on and on and on. Here's the Bluetooth setup that you turn the power and visibility on for tethering. You can search for new devices, all of that stuff. Whoops, I guess I just did it back again. That's your back button, and this takes you home. Here's the QR code. Now, this is where it gets weird. Scan that, guys. Maybe it'll work in your country. If you scan that and see where it will take you, and it's also in the manual that comes with it, I believe. That is the link to the app that you're supposed to download. But I'm having trouble here in the USA getting that to work for me. Here is your notifiers. You have to install BT Notifier app, but when you do on your phone and you set it up to receive notifications, they'll be pushed to this watch as well. And overall settings, it even gets more fun. You got different profiles. This is your sound levels. Remember the old watches, you could have silent, meeting, outdoor, all that kind of stuff. I set it for outdoor. That's the loudest version setting for everything. You have your watch settings where you can, do your time and date. You can set the languages on the watch directly here if they don't update automatically from tethering. And I'm just going to flip through them, let you guys see what languages are supported. All in a $10, $8. I keep jumping around in price because you never know. Right now it's $8.65. You have display settings with wallpaper. I think that's what we were seeing earlier. Then you have your motion for raise your wrists to see the time. There's your airplane mode, flight mode, and then miscellaneous section is for your overall brightness and your timeout, which you can go as high as about a minute, and a brightness level 5. There's level 1, and all the way up to level 5 is okay. It's good indoors, as you can see. It's not blooming. It's not going to be super bright outdoors, but it will work for us. Okay, and that's all the settings. And then we're back where we were playing around before with the camera. So I'm really blown away. It's like, why can't they do this for such a cheap price other places? When we look at it, okay, you got the camera at the top. The bands are fixed, it looks like. They're not removable. And the back looks like it'll pop open, so it's not going to be a waterproof watch. It pops open right here. Oh boy, I got an IMEI number. I don't care if you guys see this one. There's the battery, looks like. And we lift out the battery. First time I've done this. Wow, sure enough, there's where you put in not a nano SIM, but a micro SIM. It's a little bit bigger. Now, I'm pretty sure you're going to find it's only working on the old 2G network. But if you're in a carrier, GSM kind of carrier that will work on still 2G, you could at least make and receive calls and texts. You're not going to get data on this watch with that. And then that is where you put in your micro SD card. Will it tether to Bluetooth headphones so you can listen to your music? I don't think so, but I don't know for sure. But you can play your music out of the speaker on it, wherever the speaker is. And well, I'll do the boot up and the shut down so you can hear the volume. It's pretty decent on here. And the battery, obviously, removable, so you could get extra ones, I guess, to keep with you if you want to change them out. You have to put it in this way first and that way. And now, of course, it has been turned off because I just popped this out. This must be the speaker holes here. So it probably snaps on that way. And we are going to turn it on for you so you can hear it. 3, 2, 1. Now, really kind of soft. I think it reset the volume back down low again. But it has a little chirping. It's got a little sound that comes out of it. And of course, you can modify the volumes as well. That's all I'm going to be able to show you with this. If you can tether it to the app, you could do things there. If you put the SIM card in or Bluetooth tether it to your phone for calling, you can make and receive calls with it. It's a fun little watch. Literally, I would call it an add-on item to something else you're buying from GearBest, and just check it out. It might be something to introduce your wife or your children or your husband, somebody that's not that much into this stuff, with a watch they could walk around with and play with. It just got a lot of capability. I was pretty surprised, not really even willing to review it at first. I said, what in the world could it do for under $10? But you just saw it does quite a bit. All righty, gang. Thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you again soon.